Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell, Remax Results.
Don Eldridge, Remax Results.
So we're talking, here's the quote that I want to give you, or one of the quotes I'm looking at Jay Roll's card here. It says, 8 to 8 for the same great rate. So with that, Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and what got you into the business, a little history about yourself and your company.
Sure. I'm Jay Roll with Roll Air Plumbing and Heating. I've been in the industry for about 20 years. Started this business a few years back. My wife and I run it together. She's an accountant, so she kind of handles that side of it. We're a small family-owned business. What we do is we specialize in residential plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. More or less, if people have, like we were talking about, home inspections, things like that, repairs that need to be made, we handle those, or occasionally when you have to have things replaced, we handle that as well. We also specialize in indoor air quality. People have allergies, asthma, any kind of breathing conditions, a lot of aspects of that we can take care of as well for people. I want to touch base. You guys are talking about getting the inspections done beforehand, and we tell people all the time that, people always ask, well, when should I get this replaced? And I tell people that it's better to do it at your convenience versus its mercy. Because like you had mentioned, once you have that inspection done or the appraisal, and the buyer now thinks that there's a problem with that furnace, well, now they want a new furnace. They don't want it fixed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right.
And two, when you have it, there's a big difference in different types of furnaces that are out there as far as price points. If the buyer's involved, they don't want the Cadillac anymore. Now they want the Ferrari, and they're not the one flipping the bill for it. So those are some things, and maintenance. But, getting things done at your convenience versus its mercy, I think, would be a huge thing for people getting ready to get on the market.
So how often should someone maintain their furnace?
Your heating and cooling system should be inspected and a tune-up every single year.
Okay.
Our systems run, on average, about 8,000 hours a year. So that's a lot of wear and tear on the system. Tune-ups are relatively inexpensive. You'll find companies running specials, $89, $100. What I'd be leery of are the companies out there saying that they're going to do it for $49. You can't pay somebody to go out and do anything for $49.
Yep.
They're coming out there and they're looking to sell you something. A tune-up should, depending on the system, there should be a few things that are done with that. You can't. It should take about an hour to hour and a half to have a thorough tune-up done on something. As a business owner, I can't send somebody there for $49 and be happy about it.
So the question I have for you, Jay, is a lot of homes of mine in particular, I guess this is kind of a self-interest question, but we have a boiler heat, and then we have air conditioning coming through our attic, coming down into the house instead of forced air. And in many homes, if you had boiler heat and you maintain and keep the boiler heat or radiant heat, you're not going to have the forced air furnace. You don't have the AC coming through those vents that come through your ceiling down into the house. And that's all in the attic. And how does that? Do you guys work on that those sorts of things? Or is that a specialized deal that just what I mean, from as a special deal from something other than a regular furnace and air conditioner?
No. Anybody that's in the HVAC industry should be able to handle that. If they don't, then again, I would move on to the next company and be worried about that. But yes, what you're talking about is when you have a boiler, you don't have vents, you don't have the ducting like you would for a forced air system. So what you would do is have an air handler with an air conditioner up in an attic area. Depending on the system, you may have a high velocity where it's smaller piping, but that moves air faster to be able to treat the home. You probably don't have vents into your lower level or a basement or anything.
It doesn't
just
go to the
upper
basement.
level.
It goes to the first two, or the top, or the second floor and the main floor. We have the vents. Nothing in the basement. And the question is, I've never had it tuned up or checked. And if AC works, but they have to climb into the attic then to check that out then? Or how is that? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And you should have access.
There's an AC unit outside my house, but all the stuff that it's running on is inside the attic. But
you have two different parts. You have your condenser that sits outside. That's the unit that you see on the side of the house. Then you've got some copper lines that go from there to what's called a evaporator coil, and it's either going to tie in at the furnace if you have a furnace, or an air handler like what you have up in your attic there.
Yep.
Basically, it's a furnace without gas. It just moves air. So yes, you want to have the coil inspected and things like that as well. And proper maintenance will prevent the majority of your breakdowns, and it also is going to add a lot more life to the system. What we see now, average life of equipment is around 15 years.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And a lot of people are surprised because we remember our parents who had it for 30, 40 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, things aren't made the same as they used to be. And also, the workmanship, when they're building houses, some of these things, they're using smaller ductwork, so we're not getting proper airflow, which is causing systems to burn out faster. It's how they're put in day one. Industry has come up with a lot of different things now that we can do to adjust airflow. Sometimes we do have to reduce some ducting, things like that. Your system should last you 20 to 25 years, but that's not always the case, and a lot of that has to come with how maybe they're put in the first day, and also to how they're maintained. Maintenance, when you buy a car, you don't wait till you have 60,000 miles to start changing the oil.
Are there tips too, like and maybe this is, so, single female homeowner, I don't know about a lot of this stuff. And I was just talking with my sister the other day and I was saying, oh gosh, the upstairs of my house is really hot and the downstairs is cold. Well, I just live in a townhome. She's like, oh, you got to fix the vents. And then I'm like, okay, I don't know how to close them or turn them on. And then the other question was, as far as air conditioning, is it better to keep my house at one temperature? I mean, does it, or instead of increasing the temperature, I've got one of those systems where, it's 80 degrees during the day because I'm not home and then it goes down at night. Does things like that affect, is that hard on the furnace or the air conditioning when it's 80 degrees one day and then I turn it off the next day?
Or is it better to keep it just
changing the vents
same?
And everything else, or just the same temperature? Does those things impact the wear or tear, so to speak, on a unit?
It will, to an extent. Industry standard is that you don't want to adjust it more than probably 4 degrees. So
Okay.
if you like it at, say, 72, don't turn it down more than 68. When we have programmable thermostats, it'll turn down when we go to work
Right.
or in the evening or something. And it's not that it's more wear and tear on the system, is that it costs you more money in energy, whether it be your gas bill on the heating side, your electric bill on the air conditioning side, to bring it back to that temperature. So if you let it, heat up too much in the summertime, then you want to try to bring that temperature back. It's going to cost you a lot more in electricity than if you just kept it at the 70 degrees.
Okay.
But your answer to different levels being difference in temperatures, that's going to have to do more with airflow than anything else.
Okay. Is that some things that you guys check out when you do an inspection, or
Yep.
that you could help out with?
Yeah, absolutely. We check a lot of airflow parts to it because that's going to be the key component to trying to get you more longevity out of a system and to give you comfort. Our number one job when you have us come in there is to give you comfort and to save you money. Saving money is on utility bills, replacement costs, things like that, and that's done by proper maintenance.
So I have a question. Sorry, Dawn, do you have a question? Go ahead.
Well, I know
cut her
some HVAC companies offer monthly payments for doing
Service agreements.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Service agreements. Does your company offer that?
Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
And we've got a couple of different packages with that. And you can actually see them on our website, which is rollairrepair.com, and it's ROL. We have our Comfort Club, which we have 3 different levels. And what we do is we come out every year and we do your annual maintenance for you. I know that everybody here has already had their air conditioners tuned up this year and you had them checked out, right?
I fired mine
Yep.
up and it worked. I'm crossing my fingers yes, it does.
Right.
So there you go.
What's nice with our system is that we actually contact you because most people forget about it.
Yeah.
It's getting nice.
Until it
We
breaks
want to
down,
get to
yeah.
the lake. We don't want to be around here. We're not thinking about is our air conditioner working until all of a sudden it doesn't. So we actually contact you. Same thing with your furnace. Right around Thanksgiving time, we'll start contacting our customers with those, and it's time for the tune-up. Same thing. Let's set it up at your convenience versus its mercy. And then there's different discounts that come in play with each of our different packages as well.
Well, that's really cool. So Roll Air, ROL, airrepair.com, Roll Air Repair. Ben, I have a question.
Yep.
Any of this stuff affect insurance?
None of the stuff that we have talked about right now really affects
So
insurance.
if you have an old boiler heat system, it
Well,
doesn't
if you have
matter
a new system, you get a little bit of a price reduction. But we don't surcharge you for having an older forced air system. The one thing that we do look for in heating is that the primary heat source of the house isn't wood. When you get out
Oh.
to rural areas,
Yeah,
you'll see
that
a lot
makes
of wood
sense.
heaters.
I'm like, what?
But in the metro, you really don't. You'll see people that have like
Well, I guess
a
when you go to-
wood-burning fireplace or something like that. That doesn't matter.
Or they have those external units all over in the rural areas now where
yeah,
they burn
that's
wood
what,
and then it runs
that
through.
wood and corn pellets. Those are the really things that we kind of judge on for heating.
So is that a negative to have one of those exterior wood burning units that is outside your house that runs?
In my opinion, it's not.
But I mean, from an insurance standpoint, is it?
Well,
is it kind of
it
ding you a
is
little
because
bit?
it's an open flame heating your house. I think they're safe because if you look at those units, they're usually 100 feet away from the house,
Yep.
and they're wrapped in cast iron and everything.
Yep.
And what they do is they actually just shoot
hot water
hot water.
underground. Yeah.
So I think they're a pretty safe unit. If you're heating your house with wood inside, that's a
That's where
different
it's
story.
different, yeah.
But I think the outdoor wood burners aren't too bad of a deal. They're
What
cheap
about
too.
what about if I just use my oven to heat my house?
I don't think
And
you can get
space
by
heaters?
with that. No, I don't
Kidding.
think so.
I'm teasing.
Not insurable, but there may be some rental properties out there that have that going on. And if you do, call us because we can help either talk to your landlord or sell it or get you into a new place. 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. So we have Stephanie Havel, Wells Fargo here, Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance, and Jay Roll with Roll Air. And you can find all that on our Facebook page under Stockwell Eldridge. Just search Stockwell Eldridge. And like us if you would, please. We have a lot of good information from our guests, a lot of past shows on there for our YouTube videos, and other valuable information that we find from other entities and other articles that we're always putting on there to help you about the Twin Cities. Tons of stuff about the Twin Cities. So
Adding value.
trying to add value any way we can. Again, call us anytime if you have questions. 651-400-0773. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
And Don Eldridge, RE/MAX results.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.